and then Dr. Vikejan, and then Dr. F.R. Sherwani to continue. So just to set the stage, I must start with the age-old concept that water is vital for our growth of our economy and is a critical component of our ecology. It underpins the social and economic development. If you see that with only 4% of the world's renewable freshwater resources, India has to sustain about 17% of the world population. Though we have only 4% of renewable water, but that constitutes about 4,000 billion cubic meters of precipitation, say rainfall and snowfall. And out of that, we get about 1122 BCM, which is available for utilization. There is surface water 690 and groundwater 432 BCM. But increase in demand for the agriculture, industrial, drinking, and commercial sectors with growing population has created crisis in various areas in the country. We already see in the newspapers and elsewhere also, there is already indication of conflict arising out use of water. We know there is conflict between the countries, there is conflict between the states, and there is also conflict between the user sectors, just like farmers and industries, etc. And the water quality has deteriorated significantly because of our use, overuse, misuse, whatever we say. And the pollution is increasing in major rivers. Major stretch of our rivers are polluted. Salinity is increasing, and about 80% of the wastewater which is discharged into the environment without any adequate treatment. That is the most important thing which needs to be looked at. If you see that when we got independence, around the estimates which were made during 1951, our per capita water availability, annual water availability, which was about 5,200, around 5,200 cubic meters, it has dwindled, and there is significant reduction per capita water availability over the years. And by the year 2011, we entered to the stage of water stressed condition. And with the business as usual, we may enter into the water scarce condition, not in the near future. And again, there is another problem, is that the spatial and temporal variability of water is a great concern. And if you see, as far as the surface and groundwater goes, groundwater becomes the most preferred source of water in the various user sectors of India. For the obvious reasons, because it is available almost everywhere, it is very reliable, and the ease of access, operation, and the gestation period is also less. And then the economy and independence of operation has made this groundwater to be the most preferred resource. And it has also the irony associated with this, that India has the very peculiar situation that will top the list of top 10 groundwater abstracting countries in the world. And our groundwater abstraction, which is around 250 billion cubic meters, it is almost 1/4 of the total global withdrawal. And it exceeds the withdrawal taken together of USA and China, which are at second and third places. And if you see the Indian context, about 85% of the rural water supply schemes are made from groundwater, about 50% of the urban water supply, and 62% of the irrigated area is covered by groundwater. It contributes to about 9% of the GDP. And the most important paradox is that though all the efforts were made to create so many dams and reservoirs, etc., about 80% of the total irrigated area, which was created after 1970, is from groundwater. And in the last 2 decades, the groundwater irrigated area has increased by 105%. And as a result, about 17% of our groundwater assessment units has become overexploited, and about 5% have become critical. And though the average stage of groundwater extraction over India is about 63%. If you see in the northwestern parts of our country, that is Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, the groundwater extraction exceeds 100%. That means the replenishment which occurs annually, we are withdrawing more water than that. And again, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, it is between 75 and 100. and in the rest of India, in the peninsular part, it is 50 to 75, and mostly in the eastern and northeastern parts, it is less than 50%. And again, because of the overexploitation, we have even in a large part of the country, the groundwater is having one or more constituents which are beyond the limit of their use. Just like say we are having arsenic, right, salinity, then trace metals in different places, nitrates, pesticides, and of late we are now getting uranium, which is alarming. And if you see the water requirement or demand, the various committees which were formed, they predict that the irrigation requirement, which is the largest by far the largest consumer of water, that may increase by 1.5 times by 2050, and the drinking water may just double. But whereas the industrial requirement, which is of course meager at this time, it may go 3 to 5 times than the present requirement. Similarly, the energy requirement also, it may go several times higher because of the obvious reasons. So to meet the challenges of increasing demand, innovative technological interventions and judicious utilization patterns need to be developed if we want to have a sustainable water secure future. So what are the challenges we have? We have unequal distribution, as I have said, then decreasing per capita availability, overexploitation of groundwater resource, and then contamination and degrading water quality. And the most important part is the very high water footprint, both in industrial and agricultural sector, which needs actually the technological and utility interventions. We have a regional mismatch between the water availability and demands. There is a huge spatial and temporal variability of rainfall. About 80 to 90% of our precipitation occurs during the monsoon period, which lasts for about 3 to 4 months only. And 50% of the water availability lies in the Ganga and Brahmaputra basin. And only the Himalayan rivers are perennial, others are not. And if you consider the groundwater, 70% of the resources are confined to the alluvial areas that occupy only 20% of the geographical area of the country. So these are the problems which are facing. And again, wherever surface water supply is committed, there also, because of the shortage or inadequate supply of surface water, increased dependence on groundwater is happening, for which it is leading to overexploitation. And again, if you see that 80% of India constitutes hard rocks, there the availability and sustainability of groundwater is again a major concern. And if we go to the arid areas, there again we are having less recharge potential and also resource availability. And among the major issues we have again the other thing in the canal command areas, we have waterlogging conditions, we have groundwater quality degradation in so many places, either geogenic or anthropogenic. And again, because of the overuse of groundwater, we are again having the deterioration of groundwater quality. There are issues in urban groundwater management, there are issues in spring water management, and then again climate change is also causing problem, aggravating the problem. The most important part is the groundwater use is dependent on the demand and not supply. This results in the over extraction, indiscriminate extraction. So water has been developed and not managed. This is the concept which is the same. And again, there is other problem also, the ownership of groundwater. The Easement Act says that whoever owns a piece of land, he has the right to the water under it. What are the possible solutions? We should have resource augmentation. Here, the technology and other utility innovations need to be put. We should have resource augmentation, that is supply side management measures. We should augment the groundwater resource by rainwater harvesting and artificial recharge. As we know that more than 70% of the annual precipitation takes place in a limited period, about 2 to 3 months. And the most important part is that we should go for the reducing water footprint. Recycle and reuse of water should be implemented, and the mantra should be 5 R's. That is recycle, reuse, reduce, reallocate, and respect water. So use of treated water for reuse of appropriate purposes. Now here comes the thing, the water footprint, which is among the highest in the world in India, that creates two problems. we are using more blue water, that is the having more blue water footprint, and similarly also we are having more gray water footprint. That means when we are discharging so much of water without proper treatment into the environment, into the surface water bodies, into the soils, that is creating another havoc. So if we can implement certain measures so that this water is recycled and reused, then we will have less use of the blue water, that is your groundwater, surface water, and simultaneously most of the gray water need will be reduced. So it will not be polluting the environment. That is the most important thing which is left, and all the technology and utility interventions are to be made in this. Then we should have a urban water recycling and reuse, and then advanced desalination methods may be used where water is not there. These are the technology interventions. We may have redistribution where we are having more water that may be diverted to the water scarce areas, and there should be focus on the demand management. And again, for the quality related problems, we should have safe drinking water by sealing the poor quality aquifers. Central Groundwater Board has developed a cement sealing technique, a technique which is being implemented in West Bengal, in UP, and elsewhere also it can be implemented. With a cement sealing technique, we are able to provide arsenic-free water in the areas where the aquifer is affected by arsenic in the shallow areas. So similarly, arresting contamination through awareness and or legal steps should be done. We may have in situ remediation, as we know that most of our water where it is polluted, either it is always it is treated in ex situ means. That means we are having sludge, we are having so much of rejects which have to be managed. So that is not being managed, and that is further creating problem. If we have in situ remediation, then this can also be solved to some extent. And again, the industries should go for the zero discharge norms. And that is the most important thing. As I have said, that they are creating problem for the blue water and also gray water footprint. So if they ensure the zero discharge norms, then that will also help. Then optimum utilization of fertilizers and pesticides should be done in the agricultural sector so that our water doesn't get reduced, contaminated, so that the water footprint of the agricultural produce also be reduced. And again, in the coastal area, mostly when we have over pumping, there also we have sea water intrusion or saline water intrusion. There also the pumping should be regulated, and we should also protect the recharge sources from contamination. And as far as the technology and utility innovations are needed, we should go for the demand side measures also. In the domestic, introduction of domestic water saving devices should be there. We should have water saving toilets, shower heads, and recycled water may be used in the gardens or the secondary uses like washing cars and other things. There should be water meter, tamper-proof water meter in with all the consumers. There may be a progressive water tariff structure which can control. And again, the sewage and domestic effluents should be piped separately, so that at least some water will be easily treated for recycling. And in agriculture, as we all know, about 80% of our total water use is for irrigation. So this is the sector where we should have more intervention, more technological intervention. We may go for the cropping pattern, change of cropping pattern. We may avoid the water guzzling crops where water is not there. We may shift these type of crops where there is abundant water. And again, the micro irrigation, which is being in practice in many areas, and now government is also providing subsidy and others, that should be practiced to a greater extent. Drip and sprinkler systems of water saving technology. Recently, also we have a partnership with Israel and etc. And these are being done. It should be done in a better way. And the water use efficiency again, which is a very matter of concern for India, should be increased. It is not digestible. It is much less. And again, if you go through the industries, again also the industrial water footprint of India is also among the highest in the world. That should also be looked into, and they should have a more sustainable method of water use. There should be progressive water tariff for them, and then they should have a proper water audit and water recycling facilities should be there. There should be significant reduction in the water footprint both in terms of fresh water used and polluted water released to the environment. More efficient process will turn out a product with a lower water footprint. That means maybe that they should have a better process. They should concentrate in the areas where less water print will be there. Maybe that we should not have water guzzling and water intensive plants in the areas where there is water is scarce. The treated urban sewage water or cooling and other processes may be utilized. Similar technology should be utilized. And then we should have a proper regulation, and the polluters pay principle should be religiously implemented, and that may be imposition of disabling penalties for the repetitive offenders. And we should have again technological intervention for this to detect the defaulters. Of course, some efforts have been already made by different states. The government of India is providing some funds under the MG and REGS to create more type of water structures. Similarly, many states have their own, so many like Jali Jivan in Haryana, and so many in Jal Jivan Haryali in Bihar, and so many other schemes in so many states have been created. And this with proper intervention, proper technology, proper use of science will be very useful in providing the desired results. So the water demand is rising and the challenges are immense in water sector. We have to sustainably manage our water resource without leaving any negative impact so that next generation would not bear any loss. So innovations with successful integration of science and technology and community mass participation will enable us to ensure sustainability of groundwater resource and overcome the challenges of water sector. So with this, I will hand over the stage to Dr. Amita to have her presentation. Thank you. Dr. Amita, please. Or Mr. Garg will take over. Dr. Garg.
Thank you, Mr. Patil. Can we begin now?
Yeah, please.
Yes, thank you. Let me share my screen. Is the presentation visible?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to the presentation on hyperlocal water networks and water markets. I'm Amita. I'm a doctor by education, and I am a civil service officer with the Government of India. Currently, for the last 5 years, I have been engaged in systemic reforms, bringing about systemic reforms in the government's public service delivery schemes and mechanisms. I have extensive experience in the areas of waste management, water management, stormwater drains specifically, in terms of local urban and rural infrastructure, local bodies infrastructure, financing urban local bodies, and in establishment of underground utilities. My co-author, Mr. Manoj, is an alumnus of the Indian School of Business and now North Carolina State University, and he is working as a strategist with Deloitte. For the next 15 minutes, I will be walking you through a novel idea called hyperlocal water networks and markets. I would also like you to know that the contributions and opinions expressed in this presentation will be in my personal capacity and do not in any way reflect the views of my department, the Indian Audit and Accounts Department. Continuing with the presentation, the hyperlocal water networks and water markets envisages a paradigm shift in the government's position on urban stormwater from a cost head that requires management to a natural resource that requires conservation. This leads to two important questions in our minds. Whether we are treating in our current systems, are we treating water as a natural resource? And are we treating water as an economic good? The idea of hyperlocal water networks and water markets is inspired by the Dublin Principle 4, which places heavy emphasis on water having an economic value in all its competing uses. And also, clearly, it emphasizes how failure to recognize the economic value of water has led to wasteful and environmentally damaging uses of the resource. A hyperlocal system essentially involves a highly decentralized mechanism in which the system manages and measures the inputs, outputs, and outcomes at a highly granular level. In our case, it is a hyperlocal system of management of rainwater at a granular level of the ward. That is, we conserve, measure, and share water at the ward level and between wards. A hyperlocal water network is a smart link between the hyperlocal reservoirs that we establish. The purpose is to establish a hydrological link between the conservation reservoirs. And finally, most importantly, the hyperlocal water market is the chief instrument through which we trade. It's a platform for trading water between wards for credits, in return for credits. And this is the chief instrument to realize the economic value of water. In the sense, it helps us meet the demand and supply match at the granular level, that is sub-ward level, and it incentivizes the harvesting of water. Now, this is a functional representation of how a hyperlocal water network can be designed. The three blocks we see are representing individual wards. Each ward is complete in itself in terms of its water collection, processing, treatment, and distribution infrastructure. And each ward is the water storage structures in each ward are all linked through this pipeline representing the hydrological connectivity. It's a metered pipeline. So in essence, we are achieving a hydrological connectivity between locally processed, collected and processed rainwater. Let us go in detail about the components of the hyperlocal water market. The water market is basically a platform for trading the rainwater we harvest in each ward between water deficient and water surplus wards. The principle is that there is always a difference in water demand between multiple wards or multiple areas in each city because of the local characteristics of demography and their changes in infrastructure, whether they get water supply, municipal water supply, whether they don't get municipal water supply, and also the subtle changes in their hyperlocal economy, such as whether there is a residential predominant area, office or business hub, etc. And also there's a difference in collection of rainfall amount because of the variations in topography in a vast urban agglomeration. So the hyperlocal market ends up striking the crucial match between demand and supply and helps us convert it into incentives in the form of water credits, which can further be utilized or converted into budgetary and financial incentives for the authority that manages the hyperlocal system and market. Therefore, the purpose we are achieving here is to first, most importantly, realize the economic value of water, and then also meet urban water demand with harvested rainwater as much as possible. Thereby, we end up reducing the dependence on river water supply and also on groundwater, and we end up saving river water and repurpose it for agriculture. Now, a hyperlocal network is the infrastructure that we create in order to efficiently and locally, in a decentralized manner, collect and share water between multiple decentralized units. In this case, it is wards. It largely consists of 1 to 2 compact and deep storage tanks and multiple wells per subdivision. We also try to leverage open reservoirs if we have them, because we all know that how in the last few decades, though most of our urban areas and cities used to have multiple surface reservoirs that were interconnected through canals and hydrological systems, we now have most of the lakes encroached, some of the connecting systems deviated and encroached upon. However, the purpose of the hyperlocal network here is to establish that crucial hydrological connectivity we used to have in our erstwhile water security systems. Though it cannot be fully replacing the erstwhile all the ecological functions of lakes and natural systems, the attempt here is to repurpose at least the functional um, uh, capacity of these collection and storage structures. And the network is ending up becoming an incentivizing device for local recharge of incident rainwater. This is just a recap of the hyperlocal water networks. Why I came to this slide now is because we recall that though there is a lot of talk about rainwater harvesting currently, we haven't seen much of concrete progress, largely because our conventional systems for encouraging rainwater harvesting are highly individual dependent, and they prescribe household individual centric recharge of groundwater, of rainwater, which basically involves the no concrete goals because there's a lot of behavior change aspect involved over a huge population. Therefore, it is difficult in the absence of incentives and disincentives. It is difficult to make a time-based, time-bound goal and achieve it. On the other hand, the hyperlocal network attempts to leverage the advantages of a decentralized system, and it also gives us an optimal amount of control over steering the system towards time-bound and concrete goals. Thereby, we are also achieving the economic value of water, realizing economic value of water, because this is a more sustainable system as it offers clear incentives for encouraging recharge behavior at ward level. Let us look at the current scenario of urban water systems with a case in point of Bangalore, Greater Bangalore. The water demand and supply currently is 766.5 billion liters per year. And the municipal water supply system is able to supply only 506.4 billion liters per year. The unmet demand of 237.5 billion liters is currently being met by an informal water market, which largely consists of tanker supplies, extremely highly dependent on groundwater. Let us look at the stormwater system in Bangalore. With the total rainfall of 986 mm annually, even assuming a 50% availability of usable stormwater, we have 616 BLY, billion liters per year, which is much higher than the river water supply that is currently going on. And this is the crucial river water that is brought into the city from a river, Kaveri, 100 kilometers away. We all know how there are significant shortcomings in our existing conventional dominant groundwater systems, water supply systems, like informal markets which resort to groundwater exploitation, often price exploitation ranging from 600 to 3,000 per tanker, and often there is no social equity because low income groups end up paying more than high income groups. Similarly, municipal water supply has its own set of problems with unsustainable water resources and large inefficiencies, up to 49% wastage. So we are looking at a solution which is decentralized, local and measurable, recharge oriented, time bound realization of systems to harness rainwater and to effectuate economic value of water. Coming to a roadmap of hyperlocal markets, we start with the point where recently the Karnataka State Natural Resource Monitoring Center has identified 210 flood-prone zones in Bangalore. So starting from here, the first measure is to identify hyperlocal catchment areas around each of these zones. And once we identify catchment areas, we then proceed to map them to each of the wards. Given 198 municipal wards in Bangalore, it comes to almost an equal number with 210 catchment areas. And we then proceed to build storage tanks in each catchment area, which can also be said in each municipal ward. An approximate of 2 compact reservoirs would be required in each catchment area. And we also leverage the existing open ponds and lakes. The next step is to establish a hydrological network connecting these ward level reservoirs. And then Further on, we establish a monitoring and accounting sharing system. Most of the advanced urban water supply mechanisms, urban supply boards nowadays have a technology-based monitoring system similar to a SCADA system, which involves data sharing and IoT sensors and various technologies. Finally, we then establish and enable a water sharing market and a water credit platform. That completes the process of roadmap for establishment of a hyperlocal market. Now let us look at the infrastructure requirements of a hyperlocal market with respect to a conventional water supply infrastructure. Here I have taken, for example, an upcoming planned project of the Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board for supplying 775 MLD of water to Bangalore. It involves two components. The first one involves harnessing, bringing the river water from Kaveri to the starting point in the city. It involves basically creation of a water highway with multiple water treatment and pumping stations and a centralized system of procuring water. The cost of this is at the cost of 5,000 crores. And in the hyperlocal network, there is no requirement for this kind of an infrastructure investment. As a second part of this project, there is a requirement for building an extended distribution system for household supply of the water that is brought in. Though the last mile delivery infrastructure is similar to both hyperlocal market and the conventional water supply, the additional infrastructure required in a hyperlocal, in case of a hyperlocal market, involves creating ward level and localized water storage systems, collection, transmission, and purification systems of ward level water. Now, after looking at the comparison in terms of infrastructures, let us have a look at pricing of water quality, water in comparison with conventional systems and hyperlocal networks. Now, in the current scenario, Bangalore's water supply is charging, the municipal water supply is charging water at 0.028 per liter. With the CPHEO recommendation of 150 liters per capita per day, this will be consumption of 750 liters per day for a family of 5, working out to 630 rupees per month. For an area where there is no municipal water supply that is dependent on tanker water, a medium income urban family will pay rupees 0.1 to 0.5 per liter, which works out to up to 11,250 per month, depending on the because of the unpredictable prices and also depending on the high demand in certain seasons. On the contrary, most of the times low income families resort to sharing tanker water within multiple households in the same community at the rate of about 2 rupees per bucket, which is 15 liters, and that comes to 0.13 per liter. Now, often we observe that because of issues about accessibility, affordability, and opportunity costs, the consumption of low income families tend to be much lesser than the average that is recommended, and at half the recommended average, 375 liters per day. This works out to 1,462 per month. But in case the low income family ends up consuming as much as the CPHEO recommends, the cost they will pay 2,000 rupees 2,925 is much higher than the cost an average urban family, middle income urban family will pay. So this highlights the difference in equity caused by dependence on informal water systems. Now let us look at the willingness to pay for water. From a survey we conducted in 50 middle income families, middle income to upper income families in Bangalore, the families were willing to pay a water bill equivalent to their electricity bill, which is about 2,500 rupees a month. Based on this, if we work out a corrected price for water supplied, and if we increase the price to 0.09 per liter, and also accompanied by a 50% subsidy to low income groups, the average price working out to 0.065 per liter, the water bill of an urban family will be 2,025 rupees, whereas for a low income family, it will be 506 rupees per month. We are not only saving financial cost for the low income family, but there is also a huge opportunity cost because of a reliable water supply through our formal system. coming to the analysis of revenue potential of hyperlocal water networks. Now, the starting point for us is the assumption of 50% usability of stormwater, 616 BLY. The annual revenue potential at current prices at 5 years of revenue will be 8,625 crore. Whereas, let us have a look at the budget for Kaveri Stage 5 and 110 village project budget, which is the current system for which we examine the comparison of infrastructure for. The cost incurred budgeted is 8,000 crores for an amount of 283 billion liter. We can see the comparison here that a 5-year revenue recovery at current prices of a rainwater market will be much higher than the budget for half the amount being procured in a conventional system. Coming to the municipal water board's revenues, in 2021, the projected water demand would be 766.5 BLY, whereas the supply will still be 529 BLY. Same in 2031, the supply projected is 756 BLY, which grossly falls short of the demand. But then we see that this almost equals the demand in 2021, which is 10 years back. That means the water board's supply, municipal water, is lagging behind by 10 years. And looking at the revenue proposed, even at the corrected price, it works out to about 4,914 crores in 2031. Let us compare it with the size of the informal market. In the informal market, which is currently dependent on the lag between the water supply and water demanded and water supplied by the municipality, an amount of even 237.5 billions in 2021. This volume of water is fetching about 4,600 crores, which along with the brief correction. And we see that at 2031 scenario, the 5,800 crores, which is the size of the informal market, though it is not too higher than the municipal board's revenue, it is almost equal to the municipal board's revenue of a much higher amount of water being supplied. We can see this as an opportunity cost of not meeting the demand for current water supply through formal systems, in which we end up not just losing our revenues, but also end up giving way for informal markets, which are highly exploitative of groundwater resources and do not offer any assurance in terms of quality or predictability. I would like to conclude that the hyperlocal water network should be explored as a viable option to expand municipal water capacity in a definitive manner to not only meet 2031 demand projections, but also to meet the demands of informal water projections for 2031, and to generate revenue much in excess of water board's projections, and to cut costs, and more importantly, to shift away from dependency on groundwater and surface water sourced from distant sources towards rainwater in a definitive manner. Thank you. This is my bibliography slide. Any questions will be most welcome.
Okay, Dr. Garg, whether there is any possibility that we get some questions? If not, thank you, Dr. Amita. Of course, I do not know what is the procedure of getting these questions, if they have any system, because I don't find a question answer session in our presentation. Anyway, thank you for the, yeah, please.
Yeah, Mr. Pati, the questions would come to me here, and I will share them with you as soon as I get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. I'll update you.
Okay, thank you. So as of now, so thank you, Dr. Anita, and you really had a very good research work, that is hyper local water networks, which may be able to solve many of our problems which we are going to face in the future, that what scarcity and other things. Of course, here again, maybe that this ambitious project is not implemented in totality, but it can be always given a try to at least bridge the gap. And definitely, you have gone into all this analysis, financial analysis, and other things. It will be very useful, I think, if it is implemented. So now,
Thank you, Mr. Pati.
thank you, Dr. Amita. Now I will request Dr. Vikejan to please go with his presentation. Dr. Jain, please.
So thank you very much, Chairman. I would like to share my presentation. I don't know. So my lecture is slightly uh, different because it is mostly concentrated on the technologies. It is a purely technological lecture, you can say, because I am a scientist and working apart from the economics and all the management, but some new technologies which I have recently generated with new ideas. So maybe it may interest you. Uh, Actually, I was in DRDO, and after that, I joined the Summit University and started a big department on working on both the technologies which are of the theme of this conference, renewable energy and water technologies. In renewable energy also, we achieved a lot of new technologies, but here at present, I'm concentrating only in the area of this water. So this one, in water technology, the problem generally we are facing that when something is coming from the as a requirement, that what type of technology is required. So based on that, we are doing the research. We have a large number of research scholars and teaching department with me. So in this water technology, if you will see the distribution of this water in and above the earth, it is earth surface is covered with 71% of the water. And out of this total water available on the earth, ocean holds 97%. This is a light water. And the fresh water on the earth is only 3%. And out of this 3%, the maximum quantity is in the form of ice and groundwater. So it is hardly less than 1%. We have rivers, lakes, and all that, which we have to use. It is available for our use. So we have to meet the increasing the demand of new methods, have to be developed for purification and recycling of the water. So this was the idea. So this is first I will connect to the drinking water. So in the drinking water, it is normally we are using this boiling, filtration, chlorination, UV rays, and solar radiation, purification. All these techniques are well known. So when this technology was well known, uh, this uh, this need for a portable pocket-friendly water purifier. Why it has come? We are discussing with the our army units and especially to the DRDO headquarters long back. So they told that we need urgently some type of purifier which our soldiers, when they are going at a high altitude, they can keep in their pocket and they can purify their water. So it should be a portable system. So this problem came from the for the army people or remote people. So large number of water purifiers are available, but they need electricity. Uh, 1 minute. They need electricity, and to purify these bigger in size, they cannot be carried there, and we don't have this electricity supply there. The new type of requirement come to us that soldiers who are on the high altitude or at the border or at the remote place, can we make some simple device for them? So in general, they take water from their river or springs or lakes from there, and in looks, they found that it is a complete transparent water and looks that it is very pure. But it is contains a lot of harmful bacteria, which is not seen. So how to remove that? Because that is the most dangerous. And if we are taking sometimes chlorine the tablets and this, but that is not very good in that. So a small size of portable system to verify a small quantity of water they can purify without battery, without electricity. Can we say we make a pocket friendly purifier? So this several efforts have been made, this purifying of this water by using nanotechnology, because this is the latest one, that how we can use this nanotechnology to kill this bacteria and all that. So the idea was the nanomaterials, many people, they have used this nanomaterial like silver, iron, zinc, oxide, nanoparticles, metal, this with titanium, zinc, many carbon nanotubes. But the major problem was that when you put this material to kill the bacteria in the water, after that it will kill the bacteria. It will remove all the type of virus, fungus, everything. But problem is you cannot remove this nanomaterial because it's so small. You cannot filter it out. And if you cannot remove this nanomaterial, then nobody can drink it. So this was a major problem. So this how we can make this nanomaterial usable, because you put nanomaterial, it can kill, but no filtration is available where you can use it. So these nanomaterials, due to their potential toxicity, so you cannot drink this water, because if you drink, then they will also kill inside this very harmful way for the health. So it has not been used. So we have make a new device where we can put this one as in a bound stage. That how we can put this nanomaterial in a bound stage so that there should not be any leakage in the water. So perfect system is required for water purification. The system using nanomaterial can be used if they are bound stage and not leaching in the water. It should not allow to leach any nanomaterial in the water. It should be bound permanently with these waste material and to clean the water when come in just contact with the water. It should be reusable. It should non-toxic with the inactive and make the inactive of the bacteria, and preferably it can be used in a green technology. So this problem when came, so when this problem was given, one idea came to my mind that when we are using Ganga water, this is a very popular in our country. You keep the Ganga water for a very long time, and it doesn't allow to grow the bacteria. Whether it is wrong or right, I do not know, but it was the feeling for that. So I thought, why it may be, how it may be. So I thought that in the mountains or somewhere in the sand or somewhere, they are meeting with the nanophase, which is in a bound state, and they are killing the bacteria. This was the idea just came to my mind, and I thought, why not to generate this type of nanophase in our system, which is a stable system. So I have taken a nano silver embedded with the concrete pebbles. We have taken this normal concrete, which is there in the rivers, and then we have generated the porosity into these pebbles, this porosical base, because one of my work in 95, around that, it was very popular and first in observation in the whole world, when we have made a porous silicon and tried to make a light emitting diode. And anyway, that was a complete physics problem. So same idea, it came to my mind. I have generated this pebbles using porous silicon based. And this one, when we generated the porosity in these pebbles, now this nano silver prepared in situ fixed into the spores of these pebbles, and using completely thermal cycling and many chemical processes, it was completely fixed with the nano silver in the pebbles. And we had tested that it is not coming out at any stage. So linkage bond of the silver nano with pebbles is very, very strong, because this is a thermal cycling process. The pebbles in the form of a tea bag. Now we have made in the type of a tea bag, just like, and we found that if you shake this tea bag type of device for 2 minutes in a glass of water, it kills 100% your any type of harmful bacteria, fungus, virus, everything just clean. It is only for the microbial cleaning of that. So this make the water completely bacteria free. We have tested this one, and these pebbles have been used. This tea bag, we can say we can use 300 to 500 times. Again, it can be recharged. We can clean it. It's so stable, and the system is reusable, very low cost. The cost of whole tea bag is not more than 100 rupees, and doesn't require any electricity, doesn't require any chemical. Just you keep in your pocket, you can use for cleaning the water. So this other models we have also made. This is just a schematic model that what type of porosity we are generating in the pebbles, and then fixing this nano silver. So we had done all this study. This is a appearance of these pebbles. This is normal, it's only slightly the hardness of these pebbles is slightly important, and we take this picture of. This is a microscopic picture taking with the scanning electron microscope, very, very high magnification. Just see the porosity of this one. And then this one, side view how the porous is this one. Before that, I will show that this is, we have taken after embedding the silver nanoparticle into the pores, we have taken all this picture with a high magnification and found and calculated all modeling and things we have done. So when we have made the final device, this is the type of device, a tea bag of type of a device, this one, you keep in your pocket, and this one has a, a pebble, so you can use many times. Only the important thing is in this, the quantity, three factors are very important: quantity of water, quantity of pebbles, and contact time. This should be, one should not use that small quantity of pebbles you put in a bucket of water, it will not clean. So that is very important, that you are taking a known quantity. So but this device particularly we have made for the, you keep in your pocket, and at high altitude anywhere, you just use this one. At a large number, we have used 500 times, nothing is going bad. So we have made also that this model, this one, this is the, just shake this one, this pocket, and if you want, we have made many type of models for the children's, school children's and other things. So it is a very, very low cost and clean device. Nothing is coming into that. After that, just you can drink the water. So this is, again, we have made the model for the village. Suppose there is no electricity, just the gravity model, you just pass this water, upper two cylinders will remove the dust. This is a normal one, but at the bottom we have the concrete, and you keep it, and without any electricity, without any other cost, any chemical, you can have a clean water. So this technology is, we have demonstrated many places. This is just, I will not go that how it is killing the bacteria, because it will enter in the shell of this bacteria, because nano is very small, 1 to 20 nanometer, and it stops the food supply to the bacteria and kills this one. So this is a complete one. And these are, even we have seen that if you take the earthen pots, this one, and you put in this earthen pot, this pebbles, it will kill the bacteria. So it is again a low cost one. And we have seen that even a tank of your house, water tank, if you put in the bottom a good quantity of pebbles, and after that we have checked it that the water is also clean there. So this is a system we have made, and capable of microbial stains and non-toxic, completely reusable. We are using for last 2 years, cost effective, now falling resistant, tested, certified by NAVL laboratories. And then we have uh, given this one. When we submitted this product to this, our power of idea, this is 30,000 entries were there. So we got a award there. This one is the award that this is the best technology. And then again, Royal Society, Royal Academy of London, they have selected this technology among the 10 technologies, and told that this should be commercialized. It's a very good and very low cost technology for any remote place, villagers, anywhere. So this is the one technology, and we are trying our best now how to commercialize in India this product. And I have seen the economics point of view, even spending hardly 30, 40 lakh of rupees, one can start this business. Only the marketing is there. Now, another similar type of very new technologies may be interesting to you also. We are talking about wastewater. This from this wastewater, there are so many methods to clean this wastewater. The big plants have already been installed before in the sewage to put into the river. So what we have done, the new technology generate electricity from the wastewater and also to clean the water simultaneously. It's a very interesting one. If we take this wastewater, you will see that in 4 weeks we have taken the wastewater from the Nala, this one, our Kalandi Kund Nala, and just with the special design of the electrodes is very important. So when we put 2 electrodes in this wastewater, we are generating a good amount of electricity. You can see the 4 beakers or 5 beakers, and this is a bulb of 4 LED watt, it is glowing. So it is not only important that we are only generating the electricity. The beauty of this system is when you are generating this electricity, from this wastewater, water is automatically cleaned. No, so this is a technology where we are saying that without any supply from the outside, any electricity or chemical, anything, nothing is there, you can generate this electricity and clean the water itself. Because the system is there, because electricity can be generated if two electrodes of the proper work function are dipped into the wastewater. This is our technology, and wastewater can be cleaned by dipping two electrodes by applying proper voltage. Actually, we have seen sometimes you want to clean the water, you can do the electrolysis. You apply voltage and current, and then you can clean, but that is a costly one. So here the advantage is we are not giving any electricity from outside, but generating the electricity from itself. And that electricity, when you are using, it's automatically passing a current into the wastewater and cleaning this one. It depends on that how much time it will take to clean the water. It depends upon how much water is dirty. And as much as it is dirty, it will give them more electricity. So the both things you have to optimize. If you want to take more electricity, if you want to clean the water, you have to optimize the current. But this electrode, they have a very long life. And we have seen that only one electrode sometimes is corroded, they have to change. Otherwise, there is no need for giving anything from outside. So this is a very unique technology, and nobody has done it anywhere this type, that without any cost you are generating electricity. And this is just a technical process. I will not go into the detail that how what is the complete analysis and the science is taking place there. This is again the technical details I will not go, but this is our approach is to turn this waste into the wealth. So wastewater or saline water also we have tried this one. It is also giving in saline water also generation of electricity. If you must two electrodes to the material, cleaning the water, and this new idea electrolysis, and our innovation system has these specially designed electrodes that is also very low cost. I have seen that one unit here, which we are making, is not costing more than 300 to 400 rupees, and life is quite long. And we have seen that even if you go to this one, this is 4 or 5 lamps, even we have one. And this is again a picture of a higher bulb. And we have seen, then we have made a bank of this batteries here. And from this bank, we are glowing a 10-watt tube light in the room. So the student or anybody can work there using this electricity. And as soon as your water is clean, now you can change the another water. So the idea is, suppose in a nala or somewhere you make a tank, or somewhere when you clean the water, you generate electricity and clean the water. Now, further to this one, we have gone that it will clean the water, but water cannot be drinkable water. It can be for gardening, for agriculture, for any toilets. It can be used. This is sufficient. We have made all tests with the labs that what are the factors going to change on all that. But still, if you want to go, that even the same water can be made drinkable, we have also made another thing is that if we can use this water and use the RO system can give you a clean water from there also. But the RO system, then again, you will say that you need the electricity. So what we have, this is just a color of that picture, that this is clean water you are getting. So we have made a proposal that if we can make a cascade system like this one, from this term, dirty water is coming from here to one unit, where we have about 300 units, and then we are generating 45 watts of electricity. So the water which is coming here, the same electricity, you can run the RO. So if we put a system like that, a complete, even in one day, 6,000 liters of water from the wastewater can come to the drinkable water, and without any electricity from outside, without any chemical from the outside. But one has to install this one. So this is a unique system. So this we are given. This we have just given that RO system cost-wise and other things will not go into detail. So we are given that installation of this 1,500 liter to 300, anything you can do, and we are doing this testing reports, this one. So it can be commercialized easily. Another system, just I will tell with our group, problem came from the Department of Science and Technology. that even if you are near the Ganga or any river and you want to test the heavy metals into that, we should have a handheld device. So based on nanotechnology, we have made this is another device. I will not go in detail that you just put a few drops of water into the cubit of this meter, and you will find here immediately a result. So this particularly we have made for the heavy metals, this one. And this product complete the analysis of this meter, electronic design, everything has been done in our department, and it is one of the best technology among 5 technologies in the Department of Science and Technology. Cost of this total meter when we have developed it, it is not more than 2,000 rupees, less than that even. So this is another thing for heavy metals. Right now we are done from chromium, but we are doing for all the metals, this one. And it is a simple device, keep in pocket and you can use it. This is one technology as you were discussing here, that any water which we are throwing from the industry to the river, then should be cleaned before that. So we have made this activated carbon composites and all that, and transferred this technology to the textile industry, those who are putting plants in the textile industry to clean this water before sending to the river. And this we have developed completely. This is a system in our lab have been tested, and this we have transferred that the industry is using this technology. So this is a complete one. Another device we have given. This is the result. You can see that before textile dye, this was the textile dye, and after cleaning this with our material, it came completely free. This is just one more technology which we have used. It is not exactly connected with the water, but it is a dual land of the farmer using a combination of solar photovoltaic panels in agriculture. This because this conference also live, so this was also project came to us when we submitted at the highest level from the government, that generally we put solar panels into the barren land or a wasteland. But we have given an idea, why not to put in the farmer's land? It is about three years back, we have given this, submitted that particular design. If we put these solar panels into the farmer field, and it should not affect the growth of the crops, but farmer is earning extra money from there. So we have put, and we got immediately a project from the government. We have done this one, installed in Amity. I'm not going this one. This is a 12 kilowatt solar panels we have put there. You can see all growth. We have studied all the crops. Design is like that, that there is no shadow is affecting the growth of that. We have done it. And our analysis, I'll show you that from this small piece, 0.25 acres of land, farmers can earn 10,000 rupees per month extra, apart from his growth of the crops. This successfully we have done. Now the new thing which has been also mentioned in Germany also, that about this project, that when solar panels are there, there are 2 major problems, because the dust is coming there, and the dust efficiency comes down very. So we have put a very special system with we have here also a pump, water pump, which is running with the solar power. And you just put a 1 minute on this solar panel button. We have a special sprinkler system. All the panels will be cleaned within a minute. So that is the advantage. And then we have put also a sensor there. This is the growth, that all panels will be cleaned there. So the 2 watts we are using for the solar pump, other thing for the farmers, if it is remote place for his house, or all the, we have made this model there also. TV is there, charger is there, water cleaner, RO system is there. It is all running. Apart from that, he is earning 10,000 rupees per month from this selling of CD. 50 units are coming per day on average. And we have put this one about 250 rupees. This is a sensor in agriculture field we have put. As soon as your soil needs that water, it should come. So automatically the pump is on there and it will give the water. So this all system we have installed. So this is agrivoltaics, and this is all. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Jain, for the so nice presentation, and your research work definitely will be of much help. These innovations will be of much help to our population being economic and also so innovative. Probably I'll go to Dr. Garg or if there is any question. But before that, I will have one question for you. The kits which you have developed for analysis of heavy metals, whether they are only qualitative or we can have some quantitative analysis also from that.
No, which parameter?
Say chromium, you are having some detection unit.
Yeah,
Whether we
detection.
can,
Yeah.
whether we can have some quantitative, say this ppm or something.
Yeah, we can quantify it definitely because it is a calorimetric base. Color will change with the nanoparticles when it combining according to that intensity of the like spectrophotometer you are doing. So it is a small spectrophotometer which we have made in a mobile type of form. So it is quantified. And we have also a project from recently from DRDO lab Jodhpur. They are saying that heavy metals, radioactive metals. So we are also doing that one. So sometimes we can also, if university is open, we can show you that it is working. And cost is not more than 2,000. I can tell you if you will go into the bus production, it will not cost more than 1,000 or 1,500 rupees.
That is the beauty of the thing. Actually, you have made so much of innovation and they are very economic also. Really, it takes a fortune to have this analytical equipment. Anyway, very nice products which you have at least made us known. And your this renewable energy and water technology presentation has been very useful. And I think the participants who must be taking part, they'll be enlightened by this, and maybe that some of them may refer back to you for betterment. And now, if there is any question, Dr. Garg for Dr. Jai?
No questions, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Jain.
Thank you.
If at all some questions comes at the end of the session, we'll come revert back. Otherwise, we'll conclude. And now I'll request Sri F.R. Sarvani to please go with his presentation. You are on mute. Please unmute. Mr. Sarvani, please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Garg, is it possible to do the unmute from your side to him?
You have asked him. Yeah, I think he has unmuted himself.
Please continue. Not audible. Mr. Sarvani, you are not audible. No. Are you hearing him? I'm not able to hear him.
No, we cannot hear him.
Mr. Sarvani, there is some problem in your system. Audio is not there. No, the audio is not there. Mr. Sarvani, are you able to hear us? No audio.
Mr. Sherwani, we cannot hear you. Can you check your microphone that it's connected, or your microphone if it's muted? Looks like he will be joining again.
So we don't have any more speakers. So whether it is possible to connect to him by through mobile or something? What is exactly the problem?
Yeah, he is. We're trying to connect him again. Not sure what exactly the problem is. It could be on his computer, but we are trying to make sure that we can try to get him in again.
Hello. Mr. Shubham, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Amita, we can hear you.
Yeah, I had just lost my audio for a while. If there's any specific reference, can you just repeat?
We are actually waiting for Mr. Sherwani to join. He was having some issues with his audio.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Gar. This is Dr. Gar.
Please.
Yeah. Thank you for coming and chairing the session. And when your session is finished, I have to give a vote of thanks. So just inform me, please.
Okay. Yeah, actually now we are waiting Mr. Sherwani.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if possible, if he comes back, otherwise with this, I don't think that there are questions. Probably this is a late session and we didn't get that. But anyway, very nice and very lively presentation, first from Dr. Amita and then from Dr. Vikejan. Though they are from two diverse fields, really very enchanting and new things are being at least thought up and being done, which will go a long way in solving our water problem, which we are thinking that we are going to have in future. Of course, now reverting back to the project by Dr. Amita, what I find, Dr. Amita, if you are hearing,
Yes, please.
Just to pass.
I'm hearing you,
So
Party. Thank you.
in that project where you are planning that about 50% of the rainwater you are planning to harvest. But normally what happens, in many places in urban areas, what we find that the water is not, it is not possible to harvest the rainwater because of the pollution aspects. So for that reason, in many places we try to avoid because of this our this sewerage and other drains, etc. They interfere with that. Have you taken this into account? Actually, because the maximum amount which from a roof probably we calculate from our side about 60% with the top cost of efficiency. But here, since we are not having the right type of roofs because it will be from ground and so many other places, is it possible to harvest 50%? So how could you arrive at?
Mr. Pati, thank you for the hello.
Yeah, please.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. Now, the sources I have referred to, in fact, they quote that there's a rainwater harvesting institution in Bangalore.
Yeah.
And the sources now are quoting that as long as it is roof water, 90% is harvestable.
Yeah.
And at various levels of storm water and given the different localities, the average works out to 50%. I have provided the link in my slide, the bibliography portion. I think it is the third link, I believe, rainwater club. So this is the statistic I have taken, and this is what is repeatedly quoted in most of the resources consulted. I agree that it is definitely a major challenge trying to, purify stormwater, especially if there is mixing of sewage. But then that is the whole idea of decentralization, so that the burden is less and you're able to get more efficient results.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Abhida.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please, Mr. Sarvani, please go with your presentation.
This is my presentation on my on a project done by me for WebCos in Saurashtra, Bhavnagar in Gujarat 15 years ago during the period 2003 and 2015 as a part of the project which was near Taluka of Ghoga, having a 200 square kilometer of area. And the scope of work was identification of the sites for rainwater harvesting structure, feasibility study of each structure, hydrogeological surveys, topographical surveys, detailed engineering and tender preparation, cost of construction supervision till completion of all the schemes. And under this scheme, more than 3,000 rainwater harvesting structures were designed and constructed, which included check dams on various streams, development of new village ponds, and repair of old village ponds, including bunch strengthening, pitching, provision of spill channels for safe passage of surplus flood, deepening of ponds, and various and diversion of rainwater into the existing ponds. This was the work done by us 15 years ago. This was inaugurated by the Honorable Chief Minister in the year 2005. And this is one of the, actually I'm going to make this presentation in the form of satellite imageries, pre-construction 2003 and post-construction 2017, and with my own project for photographs taken by me in September 2019. And this is this earlier slide. This was the original situation of this area, which was called Avania village. And this is the current situation satellite. And this is in box is my September 2019 photograph taken by me in the project area when I visited that area after 14 years after construction. So this is the story. I'm just telling it. So this is another village which is called Koliak. We constructed 2 check dams here in the on the same stream. This is a 2017 aerial photograph, and these are 2 existing photographs of both the check dams taken by me in September 2019. Then this is another check dam on the same river upstream of the previous 2 check dams, which is called this village was called Bundi. This is pre-construction imagery. This is post-construction imagery with the inset my own photograph taken in 2019. So this is another check dam which is upstream upstream of previous 3 check dams on the same river, and this was Malik Wadar village. And this is post construction image of the same one, depicting the success story. This is another 5th check dam on the same river which is upstream of previous 4 ones. And this is pre-construction imagery. This is post-construction imagery, and with my own personal photograph taken by me in September 2019. This is another village which was called Tagdi, where we developed 3 village ponds, and 1 small check dam was constructed. So this is the pre-construction photograph of 2003. This is a post-construction photograph of 2017 with my own picture in the inset on the top right corner. This is the success one. And this is one, this was a village, Kobri, near highway. There was only 1 site existed. We only developed a village pond here, only carried out deepening, bundle strengthening, and diversion of water into this pond. This is the post-construction satellite imagery with my own photograph in the bottom left corner, taken by me in September 2019. This is a village called Bhandaria. In this village, we constructed so many check dams and renovated village ponds. Only 3 check dams can be seen in this picture. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery 2017, and this is my own photograph taken by me in September 19. And this is another check dam in the village which is called Tansa. So many structures were constructed here. This one was the main one. This is pre-construction photograph. This is post-construction photograph of the same village, depicting the success story, and with my own photograph on the top right corner. And this is another village which was called Chaniala. A series of check dams were constructed in this village also. Only 2 are visible here. So this is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery with original photograph taken by me during my last year's visit to the project area. This is another village, Devuli and Isora. These are basically 2 villages. On the left side, this is the Devuli village, and on the right side, this is a Isora village. A lot of rainwater harvesting conservation structures were designed and constructed by us, including pond developments and so many check dams, because this had a very virgin stream, seasonal stream over there. So this is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction photograph of this same village, and 2 check dams, one from Devli and another from Isora has been depicted here. This one is a coastal village which is called Padri Gohel, which is very close to Alang ship breaking yard, and 2 ponds were developed. This is pre-construction imagery. This is post-construction imagery with my own photograph placed on the top right corner. This is another village which is called which is called Bharapara. This Bharapara village, you can see unique feature that all village streets are straight. This was very actually this was poorest village in the project area and the farthest one also. Only 1 site of pond development, which is marked blue, has been was found near village source well, which was downstream of the village. This was the only option available there. This is pre-construction photograph. Now you see, this is the only village that have cultivated more water from the harvested most of the water and they have used it substantially, depicting which is depicted by the greenery in this village. And on the top left corner, this is the actual site photograph. This is a very, very large pond and very useful. And this is another village which is called Mithi. A series of check dams were constructed on the stream, and it is also very close to the coast, Gulf of Khambat. So this is pre-construction photograph. This is post-construction photograph with original site photographs taken by me during last year. And this is another village which is called Bhakal, and so many check dams were constructed here. Only 3 and 4 can be seen here, including 1 pond in the center. So this is the pre-construction satellite imagery of the same village, having site-specific photographs taken by me in September 2019. This is another village which had only 1 pond development site. A pond was existing. We had remodeled it which was called Rampur. This is pre-construction satellite imagery of 2003. This is post-construction photograph satellite imagery of 2017. This is village Mamsa. We constructed 2 check dams and 3 check dams in this area, Malpur. So Malpur, this is pre-construction. This is post-construction photograph of the same village. This is another village which was called Velavadar. Only one site was available for the pond development on an existing nala, and we created one pond with spill channel and other pitching on the bund, etc. This is the post-construction photograph, satellite photograph 2017. This is another village which is called Barbadiya, and this is an existing village pond. And we had diverted rainwater into the pond and carried out bund strengthening, including the provision of a spill channel in the pond itself to pass surplus rainwater safely to downstream. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery. This is also one of the most educated village of the region. And this they have utilized their water resources very effectively. And still those only one structure that we constructed there is still working. So this is another village which is called Tarasara, and it is also one of the good villages of the project area, and it had most of the population was educated one. 3 check dams were constructed. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery, and check dam number 2, which is shown in the middle. This is the top right photograph shown on the top right corner of the check dam number 2. So this is another village which was called Kadwa. 2 check dams were constructed. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery of Katwa village with 2 rainwater harvesting constructed 15 years ago are still working. This is Jaspara Mandwa village. 2 check dams were constructed at the site. Check dam 1, check dam 2. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery of the same village. And the structures constructed are still working good. And this is a Neswad village where we constructed 2 check dams. This is pre-construction photograph. This is post-construction photograph. Original site photograph taken by me in September 2019 is on the bottom right corner. This is also one of the village which is called Sanodar, which was in the middle of the project area. Check dam number 1 and 2 sites can be seen here. This is pre-construction satellite imagery of 2003. This is post-construction satellite imagery of 2017. Both the check dams are still working good. And this is Sosia village, which is very close to Alang ship breaking yard of Bhavnagar. And 4 check dams were constructed, and they are still working good. They are this is 2003 satellite imagery pre-construction. This is 2017 satellite imagery with my own photographs depicted on the left side inside. This is a Vawadi village in Bhavnagar before construction, and this is after construction of same village, Vawadi. And this is a Budhel village. We developed 2 existing ponds. This is the Budhel village having existing water renovated ponds. So this is Thalsar village. We renovated 2 existing ponds which are shown in this imagery, pond 1 and pond 2. This is the same satellite imagery of the same area of 2017. This is Bomli village. We constructed two check dams, 1 and 2. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery supported by my own photograph taken by me in September 2019. This is Bhuteshwar village. We constructed 2 check dams near the village, check dam 1 and 2. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery of the same village, having 1 photograph of check dam number 2. This is Juna Ratanpur village. We constructed many structures. Only one structure I can identify after 15 years, the pond. And this is the story. This is a post-construction photograph after 15 years. And this is a check dam at Kharsalia. 3 check dams were constructed by us. They are still working good. This is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery of the same area. This is Kuda village, which is very close to Gulf of Khambat. You can see the seawater. Then this area was marred by seawater intrusions, as seawater was above the groundwater level. So what we did, two ponds were existing, and we renovated both the ponds and carried out bandstanding supported by pitching and provision of spill channel near pond number 2. So this is pre-construction photograph of Kuda village. This is post-construction photograph of the Kuda village. Red one line is shown near pond number 2 is the waste weir. Waste weir serve two purpose. Not only it stored water and release surplus water to downstream, but also prevented seawater intrusion into both the ponds and thereby preventing salinity ingress into the pond, and created a reservoir and created a sort of groundwater soiling of groundwater table, and thereby reducing the salinity in the project area. This greenery is telling the story, and both photographs of pond number 1 and pond number 2 on top left corner and bottom right corner are shown here, with one well available there. This is very close to Gulf of Khambat. It is called Kuda Beach. This is another village which is called Thordi. We constructed many check dams and ponds and renovated them, existing structures. This is 2003 satellite imagery pre-construction. This is post-construction satellite imagery of 2017, supported by my own photograph taken by me in September 2019. This is Mamsa village. Only one pond site existed there, which was identified, and bund strengthening and diversion of rainwater into the pond was carried out. This is pre-construction photograph. This is post-construction satellite imagery supported by my own photograph. This is Mithivirdi village, and again, this is one pond site was identified. This is pre-construction. This is post-construction. This is Pithalpur village. Two check dams were constructed and existing pond was renovated. So this is pre-construction satellite imagery. This is post-construction satellite imagery supported by my own photograph recently taken by me. This is the recharge mechanism. When a ephemeral stream which has no base flow, when it rains out the rainwater into the sea, and seawater is above and groundwater is lower because of over exploitation of the groundwater table in the area. So seawater intrusion occurs into the groundwater table, thereby contaminating. When we construct a rainwater harvesting like a check dam on such a stream, then it creates a reservoir on upstream, then triggers deep percolation and thereby swelling of groundwater table after recharge. When groundwater table goes above the seawater level, then it creates a reverse hydraulic gradient, thereby pushing salinity ingress back into the sea, thereby reducing contamination and improving water quality. This is something I have drawn from my own works. And this is a recharge calculation, the capacity of the average.
Mr. Chirwani, since we are now probably the time allotted is
okay.
I try to within 1 or 2 minutes please come.
Okay, this is finished. This is last photo. This is last slide.
Yeah.
So only we had average capacity of 0.03 meter MCM, which is 300 lakh liters. Annual storage, if a structure in that area which is assumed 3 times recharge, it can trigger, then 900 lakh liter annually. It can one structure can contribute 70 liter per capita per day in the dry rural area. If this is calculated for a population of 500 persons, then the consumption comes, domestic consumption comes 127 lakh liter annually, whereas therefore one structure, if constructed with a great care, it can contribute to 772 lakhs liter annually, 0.077 MCM per year per structure. Now this is the conclusion: enhancement of groundwater table, improvement of groundwater quality due to the dilution of dissolved salinity ingress near the coastal area, social and financial impact due to increase in cropping and dairy production, improve and availability of drinking water. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
we're trying to get. Yeah, Mr. Pati, we have to give vote of thanks simultaneously in both the conferences. So other conference is waiting. Kindly allow me to say a few words.
Please proceed. Please proceed.
Mr. Pati, please.
Please
Can I?
proceed. Please proceed.
Yeah. Two-thirds of our energy needs that we're putting into our campus has to go into heating of the buildings over the very cold winters. Right now it's below freezing. And so we have looked into geothermal approaches where you drill, 300, 400 meter deep holes into the ground, you pump water in, and then it equilibrates, you get 10 degrees Celsius water out, with which you can heat pump the heating needs in the winter and which you can cool in the summer. So that's going to be our next big project. But right now it's still too expensive. All these renewable technologies get better and better price points, batteries. Dr. Wolfgang, I have to address both the halls, both the conference simultaneously. So with your blessing and support, we can give vote of thanks to all the participants and all chairpersons and all others. So this is vote of thanks from Dr. Garg, Anil Garg. I have to thank the participants of World Renewable Energy and World Water Summit at the same time. Your presence is a must, and without your presence, there is no conference. Dear speakers, respected distinguished speakers, and chairperson, you have done a wonderful, commendable job. I have to thank especially those from Canada, Ravi, Satpathy, and Dr. Wolfgang, who is having morning in USA, Michigan at this time, and Dr. Campbell from UK is a different time there. So there are delegates, speakers from Germany and other part of world, Italy. So I have to thank especially for them. And we have to thank Ministry of Jal Shakti, Ministry of MNRE, Niti Aayog for their support. Secretary Jal Shakti was here in the morning. I have to thank Mr. UP Singh especially. I have to thank Mr. Anil Rajdan, former Secretary Power and Chairman Energy and Environment Foundation for their guidance, entire support, and for his valuable time and advice for chairing the sessions and giving us motivation. We have to thank Dr. V.K. Garg. We have to thank Dr. Vivek Bandyopadhyay for selecting the awardees. We have to congratulate winner of the awards, Energy and Environment Global Awards in water sector as well as in energy and environment sector. We have to thank sponsors, especially the SunSource Energy, PFC, NTPC, Oil India for their support. We have to thank Chairperson of Raga Integrated Technology Management Services, who happened to be my wife, Ragini Garg, and without her support, we cannot do anything. Then we have to thank doctors Pratyusha, Dr. Sargam, and Pragyan from California, dear Taruna, and Shubham Garg, who is here, and he has spent lot of time here and just conducting the World Water Summit coordination. I have to thank Aishwarya, who is a compare for her excellent work. We have to thank Puneet, and Uttam for their support, Virtual MNC for their conducting this virtual conference. We have to thank all the participants once again for their support. Again, we will meet in August 2021, hopefully live, but if things will not improve, which I am sure it will improve, then it can be hybrid also, virtual plus live. Then for your information, the registration of delegate 514, then auditorium 806, and visitor 1262. They have participated in both the two virtual conferences. And thank you very much for your support, for your cooperation, and we will meet in 2021 in August 21st to 23rd. This was the exact date every year except this time. So thank you very much for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Satpathy. We will cooperate in a big way. Yeah?
Thank you for another excellent conference.
Yeah.
This was very challenging. You
Yeah.
did fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your support.
Okay, thank you. I'm leaving.
Thank you, Mr. Pati, and for all the participants and the speakers for excellent cooperation and support. We will meet in 2021,
Okay,
August.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Shubham, for
thank you.
coordinating the session.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr. Pati, for
you,
chairing.
Dr. Amita.
Thank you, Professor Garg.
Dr. V.K. Jain, thank you. Dr. Sherwani, thank you very much. And Mr. Pati, Chairperson, Central Groundwater Board, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shubham. Thank you, Dr. Jain. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shubham. Excellent work done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, Shubham.